Neversoft, that's right, the devs we all know and loved for the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater games, allegedly planned to release a Call of Duty Sci-Fi title over 10 years ago. Yes, based in space, you heard that right. Two videos began surfacing on Twitter, showcasing a build that was referred to as Call of Duty Future Warfare, but internally referred to as NX1 by the team. These were posted by two Twitter users, @MangaFigurines and @CatGirlfriend, who dropped the footage out of nowhere. This was supposedly an Xbox 360 title developed by Neversoft that was ultimately cancelled and repackaged as another title. The first video showcased a first-person cinematic sequence in space, with the player's spacesuit being breached by the atmosphere on the surface of the moon and then all hell breaking loose. The video shows that there were actually 8 missions available on the play build, with a user interface that seems very reminiscent of the OG Modern Warfare 2 game. The user then selects the moon-based assault mission, and we are met with the iconic Neversoft logo in all its glory. Interestingly, it seems as if the build was actually quite far along, as in the mission it comes fully equipped with voice acting too, meaning it was much more than just a simple test build at that stage. And remember, ChatGPT didn't exist back in 2013, so it's not just a case of simple AI voiceovers to placeholder the real actors. We can't show the footage for obvious reasons, but the mission currently circulating does look pretty hyped, to be honest, and considering this was back in 2013, it more than holds its own in the graphics department. But where has this footage come from, and why has it been leaked now? Well, a previous Neversoft dev, Brian Bright, chimed in under the post to give a bit of clarity to the situation. Bright goes on to say that after Infinity Ward imploded and split into Respawn, Neversoft began to pivot away from Guitar Hero games and began developing a futuristic Call of Duty game. Bright claimed he was the multiplayer lead on the project and that it had significant progress with at least 2 to 3 campaign missions and a bunch of work completed on the multiplayer mode, even debuting the first escort mode in Call of Duty, which was replicated in later titles. Due to the merger, this ultimately ended up becoming Call of Duty Ghosts, but looking back at the footage, I kind of wish we had the chance to see what this game could have been, and it seems Twitter agree with me, as many are begging the leakers to release the dev build so they can take the game on a test run and who knows, maybe even finish it. The second video is the juicy part, as it showcases a multiplayer mode on a map that seems to have a ruined desert town theme. While it looks fairly similar to previous Call of Duty titles, interestingly, there's a weapon we've never seen before, a super futuristic looking DMR style rifle. If you're thinking the gameplay looks very Modern Warfare 2-esque, you'd be spot on with that observation, as Bright further goes on to explain that they had a limited art team at Neversoft, so most of the assets used were from Modern Warfare 2, while the team learned how to adapt to the new style of gameplay. These claims seem to be backed up by another leak of the multiplayer maps, which shows a staggering 16 maps. But it's important to note that there were some legacy maps from Modern Warfare 2, such as Terminal, Afghan, and Overgrown. One map that caught my attention though was Bin Laden's compound. I'm not too sure that map would get greenlit today, to be honest. The alleged leaked game, titled Call of Duty Future Warfare, ultimately ended up being scrapped, and from the previous reports, seems to have been replaced by Call of Duty Ghosts, which had mixed receptions from the fans on its release, to say the least. And it seems that resentment is still held by fans to this day, as fans were commenting under the leaked videos on Twitter, saying they would much rather have had this early build version of the game over Call of Duty Ghosts, with some even claiming the gameplay looks better than even the most recent Call of Duty releases. Something that caught my interest was the mention of the escort mode within Future Warfare, which basically sounds like an Overwatch style mode, in which players would push a large UGV through certain checkpoints on the map, meaning we could have had an Overwatch competitor before that game even existed. Activision has not commented or confirmed the leaked footage, so at this moment in time it is still alleged, but with previous staff confirming the leaks themselves, it does add some legitimacy to the claims. Would you have wanted to see this Future Warfare title over Call of Duty Ghosts? Let us know in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed this video, why not go check out this video?